Hi guys, welcome. Today we're going to focus on some mobility and strength around the spine. So let's have a seat on the floor. We're going to sit in this crisscross style. And if this is not comfortable for you, then roll up a blanket or grab some yoga blocks and put them under your sit bones, and your knees can be a little bit lower or a little more in line with your hips, all right? So we're just going to start with some nice deep breathing to open up the ribs and to think about breathing into the spine. So let's give ourselves a hug around the rib cage, and let's take a nice deep breath in and think about not just breathing into your lungs, but all the way down into the bottom of your rib cage. So here we go. Great, now that our breathing is in check, we're gonna use that for the rest of this session together. We're gonna drop one hand to the floor. We're gonna reach one hand up overhead. Think about getting as long in your spine as you possibly can. Inhale, and then we're gonna do a soft side bend over to this opposite side. Good, and this base hand is your support. Good, sit up nice and tall, and we're just gonna repeat here. Good, let's come back to neutral. Let's switch sides. Beautiful. All right, we're gonna reach both hands up overhead next, and then we're gonna twist our body. So watch me for one repetition first. Both hands reaching up. I'm gonna rotate to one side while slowly lowering my fingertips towards the ground. And then I'm gonna raise the fingertips back up towards the sky, shift back to neutral, and then we're gonna hit the other side, and we'll keep on moving. So let's join me, hands overhead, and let's go. Be sure you're sitting up nice and tall. Good. And tuning into your breath. Nice work, you guys. All right, we're gonna shift gears a little bit. We're gonna shift into some pelvic tilts. So these pelvic tilts are gonna happen on the ground. So we're gonna lay on our backs. We're gonna bring our feet in close to our glutes. And then I wanna think about arching my back and then tucking my pelvis. So when we arch our back, we wanna pull the lower back off the ground. I can slide my hand underneath. When I tuck my pelvis, my back is on the ground and I can no longer slide my fingers under there. We're just gonna work here and listen to our breath and start to think about those vertebrae in the spine and how they're moving in the lower back right now. Good, meet me in a neutral position. We're gonna take this up a notch. So we're still gonna do that pelvic tilt, tilting the hip bones towards the rib cage, but then we're gonna start to roll one vertebrae at a time into a glute bridge. So it's a nice slow motion. When you get to the top of it, we're gonna come down the same way that we came up. We're gonna roll down, thinking about one vertebrae at a time, slow and steady and controlled, making contact with the lower back on the ground until you come back to neutral. Let's go. Tuck it, lift and press through the heels. Nice, slow, gentle motion. Good, meet me in that neutral position. So we want to keep our lower back on the floor. I can no longer slide my fingers below my lower back anymore. I'm going to extend one leg out and point my toes. And then my goal is to keep everything nice and grounded in the hips, in the tailbones, and I'm gonna draw a circle here. You can make this circle as big or as small as you need to. The goal is slow and steady. Good. Think about pulling the belly button into the spine to help stabilize. Let's change directions, other way. Good. Let's switch sides. Nice, you guys. Extend. Point the toe away, and then I'm keeping my fingertips on my abdomen and my hip bones to remind me to pull that belly button into the spine for stabilization. Big circles. And let's reverse it and go in the opposite direction. Good, finish that circle, bring both feet to the ground. Nice work, you guys. So let's give ourselves a little bit of relief. Let's pull the knees into the chest, and we're just gonna take 5 deep breaths here. Hands can wrap around the shins. Tune into those same breaths that we started with. Fill up the rib cage with air. Inhale. Exhale. We've got one more right here. Big inhale. And a big exhale. Excellent. Let's roll to the side. Use your hands to support, coming back up into your seated position. And now we're going to go back into our tabletop position, and we're going to work on some cat-cows. So, always important, line up the wrists under the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips. You can tuck or untuck the toes. There's no right or wrong here, so whichever one feels good to you. We're going to drop the chin towards the chest and lift the spine up towards the ceiling. Good, and we're gonna start to open the chin up and look forward as we arch the back into our cow position. Cat, reverse it, spine reaching nice and tall. And reverse it, exhale. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. All right, you guys, nice work. So we're gonna turn this into a bit of a wave. So now I want you to tuck the toes underneath your body. I want you to sit your butt back into your heels, and we're gonna go for a spinal wave. So to get the most length that we can, we're gonna stretch our hands forward and drop our ears between our arms. From here, we're gonna start to lift the spine and shift your body forward. So reaching forward, curving the spine, pushing your shoulders towards your wrists, and they might go past your wrists, and that's fine. Then we're gonna let the hips drop towards the ground while your eyes go up to the sky. Beautiful. Tuck your chin and reverse it. Push, separating the shoulder blades, lift the spine towards the sky. Think about trying to move one vertebrae at a time. Push your butt all the way back to your heels. Good, let's do that 2 more times. Great work, you guys. All right, we're gonna focus in on a little bit of strength work now. So come back to this tabletop position. Spread your fingers nice and wide so that we've got a nice stable ground. And I'm gonna pick up one arm and reach it forward outside of my ear. Good. Our second move is to lift the legs. You can push it back with your toes in contact with the ground, extend it, opposite leg, and then lift and lower. Let's pull it all back together and work the same side. Same side arm extends, toes push back, leg lengthens and lifts. Come right back down, toes to the ground. Let's pull it all back together. Good, let's work together. And we've got one more right here. Nice work, you guys. All right, other side. Lift your opposite arm first. Opposite leg, push back, toes stay in touch with the ground. When your leg is nice and long, we're gonna lift. Good, our goal is to only get that ankle to about hip to glute height. Good, not any higher. We wanna keep a nice flat back here. So don't let that pelvis and lower back arch or tilt. Good. Let's do 2 more. And last one. All right, guys, let's come back to that seated position that we started in. And we're just gonna go through our big rotations. That was our second movement. Let's extend both arms up nice and tall. Think about lengthening your spine, and let's open and rotate. See if you feel a little bit more range of motion in these twists than you did earlier. One last one, fingertips down. Meet me back in this neutral position. Relax the arms. Nice work, you guys. You did a great job today.